Okay, we are having a great chat. I'm having a wonderful chat with my new friends, Mike Patterson and Candace Reckinger. They are both directors. Did I do that okay? The pronunciation?
Yeah,
Come
so
on, okay. They are a married couple, obviously, and they are on the faculty at the School of Cinematic Arts, University of Southern California. And if you missed the opening, let's go there. I've got it in my notes. Just all of you in Southern California watching this video. If you missed the opening of the Frank Gehry designed New World Center in Miami in 2011, the new hall that is conductor Michael Tilson Thomas's pet project with surround cinemas and screens and animation. These two created the animation along with their students. We're going to talk about it for Mussorgsky's Pictures at an Exhibition in close consultation with Michael Tilson Thomas. And Southern California, all of you will have a chance on September 12th and 13th to see this incredible piece of animated work and live performance. USC Thornton Symphony Orchestra, Carl Sinclair conducting, is the conductor of the Pacific Symphony and others. A huge, wonderful collegiate orchestra, a giant panorama screen behind the orchestra. It's going to be an all Russian music program, Glinka, Ludmila Overture, the Tchaikovsky First Piano Concerto with help. Daniel Pollack is the piano soloist. He's on faculty at USC. Michael Tilson Thomas is a graduate of USC. He will not be there, but this is going to be one very, very special performance that has not been seen in Southern California. Tell me a little bit about, we'll talk about tickets and phone numbers and stuff in a minute, but what are people when they come into the Granada Theater on that evening, 8 o'clock on the 12th of September, it's coming up, Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock on the 13th of September, what are they going to experience in that performance of Pictures at an Exhibition?
Well, first of all, they're basically coming to what someone described as a mini Fantasia. It's a reimagining of Pictures at an Exhibition with animation, reimagining it with 21st century techniques and technology. And it's taking place in just an exquisitely restored movie palace called the Granada Theater, which has a beautiful sound system and brilliant rear screen projection. And it's going to be a very large panoramic image with live orchestra performance.
And how did you go? How did you guys go about? How did this project? How did this project come about? Got a little echo there.
okay,
How did it come about?
Michael Tilson Thomas came to the university and asked if we could produce a visual accompaniment to the Pictures at an Exhibition, which would be which would be performed at the opening of his New World Center multimedia theater designed by Frank Gehry back in 2011. And what we did was collaborate with 11 of our students and recent graduates to come up with and design concepts for the 15 sections of Pictures at an Exhibition. The process involved Skype calls with Michael Tilson Thomas to talk about the music, to talk about the stories behind each of the sections, and the students and us together created the animations that you're going to see at the concert on Saturday and Sunday.
And it really creates a whole world from Mussorgsky's 19th century. We start out in a contemporary world in a gallery at an exhibition, and through looking at the very first painting, we travel back in time to this world that is created in a series of animated miniatures, one for each painting. And the promenades are also visualized as taking place in the past and taking place in the present. And it's a very immersive, exciting experience, a very hybrid kind of art experience in that it's an integration of animation, live orchestra performance, lighting, and it really creates a very vibrant world that you're taken into.
And the big improvement is this new technology, correct? As opposed to an orchestra following a film, the film will be the animation in this case will be following the live performance. Can
That's
you
right.
explain that?
Exactly. The software was developed by Scott Winter, who's a musician and conductor himself. It was from his ambition to create a system that would keep a live performance that could vary from performance to performance, keep the visuals in sync with any performance. So when Carl St. Clair conducts pictures at an exhibition, this software that he's developed and will perform on stage with the orchestra from an iPad, he will control the speed of our pictures so that they stay with whatever Carl St. Clair decides to do at that moment with his conducting. The interesting thing about it is that this new development helps to further refine the medium of visual music. Visual music being the kind of convergence of the moving picture and live music performance.
It's kind of a dream come true in many ways for those of us visualists that would like to work with live music.
Yeah, and it's a dream come true for those of us, in my case, I'm a conductor, in music as well, because we are always striving to engage an audience, to create new audience, and this is going to be that without compromising either art form at all. This is a huge step forward in terms of where we are. We're in the beginning of the 21st century. It's a very visual world we live in now, and these great masterpieces of musical art are enhanced by these kind of experiences, I think.
And we found that people of all ages and of all experiences with classical music, for the most part, have been very open to these new things.
Yeah.
To kind of creating new experiences with classical music, with contemporary classical music. This convergence actually sort of invites new kinds of creative people to collaborate.
Because the piece, Pictures at an Exhibition, was composed by Mussorgsky after he himself walked through the memorial exhibition of his dear friend Victor Hartmann's paintings. So he was inspired by his own promenade through that exhibition, his own contemplation about his friend's art, about him being cut short in life, and he wrote the piece out of his deep emotional, personal reaction to his friend's death in his artwork.
Yeah.
And one thing I was going to add too about the different sections is that you take a section like the Old Castle. It creates an amazing mood in the theater with this brilliant rear projection screen, state-of-the-art projector in the Granada Theater. It immerses us in this cool sort of atmospheric light that contrasted with, say, the Ballet of the Unhatched Chicks, this brilliant magentas and sort of bursting black and white and patterned shells of the eggs as the chicks are hatching and dancing around. That mood completely sort of effervescent and jubilant, and then giving way to kind of a moody sort of almost a reenactment of a 19th century Louvre-like art gallery with people in costume, going into the Russian countryside with the beadle, the ox cart, with the workers in the fields in an illustration style. All these are actually, incidentally, in different animation styles because we cast our students with all these different art abilities and art points of view. So when the viewer watches this in the theater, they're going to see an array of beautiful animation artwork in different styles.
And each piece is like a miniature that takes you back into the 19th century, into the paintings. There's a couple that are contemporary, but for the most part, you're taken into this world and you're taken deep into the music and into Mussorgsky's own thoughts, really.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing experience. I can't wait to have this experience myself. Mike Patterson, Candace Reckinger, I thank you both very, very much indeed for giving me a few minutes of your time. Let me just run down the dates and times again. This is the USC Thornton Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Carl St. Clair. It's a program of Russian music, Glinka, Tchaikovsky First Piano Concerto with Daniel Pollock as the piano soloist. This is all at the Granada Theater in Santa Barbara, Saturday evening, September 12th at 8 o'clock. Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock, perfect time to come up to Santa Barbara in the Granada Theater. The telephone number for tickets, and they're like $14 to $54, and this is an experience not experienced since 2011. It's going to be magical. The telephone number in Santa Barbara, area code 805-899-2222. I think we should all of you in Southern California should really consider a little trip up to Santa Barbara for this amazing, one-of-a-kind really experience. Mike, Candace, many, many thanks for taking your Sunday afternoon and giving me some time.
Thank you
you,
very
Dan.
much. It's been a pleasure.